This is a recording of You Gentiles by Maurice. This book is in the public domain. Recording by Grips. Chapter 8. But as moderns. But as moderns, let us have done with recollections and recriminations, you say. You have spoken hitherto of conditions which are vanishing, of Orthodox Jews mostly, of old customs and emotions which are dying out. You yourself are not an Orthodox Jew, nor are we medieval Christians. We see the Jew gradually modernizing. He becomes more like us, more difficult to recognize as a Jew. Granting there are occasional relapses, we are still moving forward toward real tolerance. The present age is not like any age before it, and the modern Jew is not like any Jew before him. You have lasted 2000 years in exile. You will not last forever. All those ceremonials of yours are breaking down, your discipline, your defensive mechanisms. At least in America, England, France, Germany, Russia, you are changing, becoming like us, taking your share in all our activities, sports, civic duties, achievements, arts. You have spoken hitherto in the terms of a world which is fitfully dissolving. You have ignored the liberal Jews, the radical Jews, the modernized Jews, the agnostic Jews, now becoming the dominant element in Jewry, and approaching us, mingling with us, solving the problem without deliberate effort. Do not your own radicals renounce their Jewish connections? Will not your modernized Jews be the first to denounce the thesis of this book? I have already said, anticipating this objection, that there is the same difference between the Jewish atheist and the Gentile atheist as between the Orthodox Jew and the believing Gentile. I have said or implied that the religion itself is but practical expression of the difference between us, not the cause of it. It is true that the expression of a view serves to strengthen it, as the exercise of a faculty serves to develop it, but the expression does not create a view nor exercise a faculty. Even conscious adherence to the Jewish people is but partial expression of our Jewishness. It was not the conscious desire to remain a people which gave us the will to endure it. It was our own unavoidable commonality of feeling which made us and continued us a people. Repudiation of the Jewish religion, or even a Jewish racial affiliation, does not alter the Jew. Some of us Jews may delude ourselves as some of you Gentiles do, but in effect modernization seems to have done nothing to decrease the friction between us. The dislike continues, and though your masses may not know why they dislike us, there must be a sufficient reason for it. It is Germany, the mother of the modernized Jew, that gave birth, with him, to modern anti-Semitism. Where the old ostensible reasons for disliking the Jew collapsed, new ones, more self-conscious, were substituted. Where modernization removed the old, superstitious form of expression, the professor replaced the priest, science, religion. We are disliked on scientific grounds, as we were disliked on religious grounds. But both the scientific and the religious reasons were rationalizations. The true reasons underlie these analyses. Nor can the revulsion of the war, with its release of primitive instincts, be blamed for this. German anti-Semitism antedates the war. The higher anti-Semitism has nothing to do with either conscious religion or localizations like patriotism. It is true modern anti-Semitism is the old dislike of the Jew transvaluated into modern terminology, and it has been evoked by the appearance of that new phenomenon, the westernized Jew. For many Jews were fooled by appearances. They took the word of the Gentile literally. The Gentile said, quote, "We dislike you because you are different from us in religion and in usages. You are separate. You are old-fashioned," unquote. And the Jew, believing these charges to mean what they say, abandoned his customs and his usages, took to baptism, became, externally, similar to the Gentile, thinking thus to evade the issue. It failed. For no sooner had he made this change in himself Then the Gentile shifted ground, went from the religious to the ethnic. What happened in Germany is happening elsewhere. As fast as the Jew modernizes, so fast does the dislike of him adapt itself to the new situation and find a new excuse. Where the Jew is disliked, it is the modern Jew who is disliked equally with the old-fashioned. The clan, the consul, the Dearborn Independent, the droit gros, the Action Française, no longer preach the modernization of the Jew as a solution of the Jew problem. No Jew, however modern or radical, is acceptable to the anti-Semite. It is now a racial question. But you still have an answer. You say, quote, "These new forms of anti-Semitism are hangovers. We have had anti-Semitism with us for a long time. It is hard to get rid of. The effects linger long after the cause disappears. But in time," unquote. This I deny, for I am convinced that the modernized Jew, as long as he retains the quality of the Jewish people, that is, as long as he inherits predominantly Jewish characteristics, is as objectionable to you as the Orthodox Jew was to your fathers. And for the same basic reasons. The effort of the Jews to enter your modern life, to become part of it, has been essentially ineffective, by which I mean that though hundreds of thousands of us have taken on your garb, speak like you, look like you, share your countries, institutions, games, do all we can to avoid friction, yet we fail to offer in cross-section the same significance as any other cross-section of hundreds of thousands of you. Our ability to imitate extends only to inessentials, appearances, surface desires and ambitions. We fail to be Gentiles. The modernized Jew still stands apart from the modern Gentile world, and his effective contribution to its life is as disastrously different as if he still put on the phylacteries every morning. The old racial seriousness, somberness, still persists. In 100 years of modernity, we, an able race, have given little more than mediocrity to your way of life. Our best work has been the old, true work of our people, fundamental and serious examination of the problems of man's relation to God and humanity. In the arts, we have been second-rate, third-rate, while in moral effort we have exceeded any living race and have produced an overwhelming number of revolutionaries and socialists and iconoclasts of the true prophetic type, we have, in science, belles lettres, and the plastic arts have been a thoroughly minor people. And even if in these last fields we have done comparatively well for our numbers, which I doubt, our preponderant contribution of fundamental moral effort still makes modern Jewry a secularized replica of old religious Jewry. The astonishing thing is that this took place despite desperate conscious efforts on our part to become like you. We joined your armies and fought in them beyond our numbers, yet Jewish pacifism and Jewish pacifists gave the tone to the world's pacifism. We have joined your capitalistic world in deliberate emulation and rivalry, yet Jewish socialism and Jewish socialists are the banner bearers of the world's armies of liberation. 3 or 4 million modernized Jews, a ludicrously small number, have given to the world's iconoclastic force its chief impetus and by far its largest individual contribution. America and England put together, with their almost 200 millions, have not played that role in world iconoclasm which a handful of Jews have played. Had we produced as vigorously in art and science, we should have flooded the art galleries and libraries. But in these we have shown no special aptitude. We may have done as well for our numbers as England, as France or Germany, though even this I doubt. But it cannot compare with our role as moralists and prophets. We modern Jews of the Western world are in this fundamentally different from you. The occasional in you is the dominant in us. Your instinct is truer than you know. The dislike of your modern world for the modern Jew is as relevant as the dislike of your old world for the Orthodox Jew.